Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Again, the person I'm calling is the same, and he's a photographer, videographer, and ex-salesman turned storyteller. Again, that tells you, and when you do selling and all those things, you need another hobby to release all those things. He captures through a lens of sphere to the verse, host of Department Token Sense. And please welcome with me Brother Shams. Barakallah fiik.
It's lovely to see all of you first of all. Thank you to all the organizers, Brother Ibrahim, Auntie, Bazim. Yeah, thank you for all of you for coming. My thing is usually a lot of spoken words. This one I'm not really going to go into what it's about or anything of the sorts, since I like the people to feel the words more than I describe them. If I describe them, it feels like I'm talking about something that you should feel. So this one is called Hoyu. And it goes something along the lines of this. Hoyu. Such a simple word, but yet can mean so much to so many of us. Some of us, our mothers are with us. Some of us, we have lost our mothers. But the essence of Hoyu is a beautiful thing. Because you see, the word Hoyu doesn't just mean mother. It's a comfort. It's a feeling. It's something that we can never replace. And once it's gone, it's something that we will forever keep yearning for. So when I say Hoyu, you have to understand it's driven from the word home. A place of safety, a place of seclusion, a place where you feel the most powerful person that you can ever be. Because you see, your mother has been through more than you can ever imagine and more than you can ever feel. Your mother was up days and nights worrying about every little thing that you might go through. Your mother has felt you develop within her. And it just sounds ironic saying that, because I'm sure a lot of us have studied science. A lot of us believe in the Quran. But we take Hoyu for granted in many things that we do. And unfortunately, sometimes Hoyu knows that. But yet, she looks at you, her child, and she's still there, smiles and builds you and develops every single one of your dreams. Because you see, to Hoyu, you're not just a person, you're not just any other being, you are her, personified into an actual being. 280 days, somewhat of the average birth cycle. It's a beautiful thing. A woman will go through all that hardship for sometimes to feel almost death knocking at her door. And we take that for granted. So let me revise that again. When I say Hoyu, I know we all feel it. We're talking about home. We're talking about the person that makes us safe, the person that builds all of our characteristics, our morals, our ethics. Yeah, Abba's there as well. Abba's the one that lines us straight, that teaches us between right and wrong. But really, when we're feeling some type of way, and for some of us that were born in this land, when the boogeyman comes knocking, we run to Hoyu. Why? Because that's our comfort, that's our security, that's the first person that we engage with, that's the person that might have taught us the first word that we spoken. I'll leave that there. It's a piece I'm still working on, by the way. As you can tell, that one always gets me feeling some type of way, for the simple reason, it's Hoyu. Do you know what I mean? And just thinking about it, sometimes when I say some of us have got our Hoyus, some of us have lost our Hoyus, losing Hoya just puts me in a very dark place. So if our mothers are here, inshallah, may our mothers and our parents forever be granted a happy, healthy life in this dunya and hereafter. For the ones that have lost their parents, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reunite you guys, and may their graves be forever peace, a place that they can find peace, home, and unity with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second piece, the second piece is what I like to call windows. Bit of a weird one. Why am I calling windows? The soul is a beautiful thing, colorful, bright, resilient, forever changing, developing. But the eyes are what people say are the windows to the soul. So follow me around and down this journey. Have you ever sat down and wept, thought about your dreams were crushed? Have you ever stopped for a moment and stared deep into that mirror, trying to wait for the other person in the mirror to move? Playing those slight mental games with yourself, preparing for a dream, maybe a life that you think you're destined for, but you don't know if you are. Because you see, a lot of us, we do this external work, this power building. We go to the gym and take care of ourselves, and we might read a book or two to develop our brain. But how many of us actually take care of that soul within our windows? Every single one of us have got two windows, and within those two windows, our soul is watching through this world, and the more we go by, we might get intoxicated or watch things that are not good for us. We don't take the moment to understand that this is not hurting our outer body, but actually hurting our soul. So the more you realize these two beautiful windows on our face, understand there's a person living in there. And I'm not saying this because I'm crazy or I've got voices in my head, please understand that. I'm talking about your soul. It's living inside this beautiful body of yours, the same way you might go and pump some iron or read some fiction. Just take the moment and turn to your Lord and also work on that soul. Build those beautiful mirrors that you've got. For a lot of us, they're not double glazed. We cry a lot and we wipe them away. But how many of us have actually got double glazed windows? Really think about it. What have you done today to work on your soul? Are your windows fractured? Do you need healing? What is your method of healing? Think about it. Maybe on your way home, late at night, just try to develop that character within you. Let the person that's watching the outer body and the outer world feel some form of comfort. Reunite with yourself and actually build those windows into something worthwhile having. Because for many of us, we've got a soul, but we don't act like it. Thank you.
Sorry for being late. We drove from Birmingham. So, like you just heard, my name is Said, and I am a poet from Birmingham. And poetry, like you mentioned, gave me a very different scope in this life, seeing further than rails and wires, really diving into the human brain and human emotions and human feelings. And poetry is a kind of way to express ourselves. As Somalis, I know that we're the poets, we're the land of the nomads and the land of the poets, so I decided to take that into my own hands and get into poetry. For the past 3.5 months, 3 months, I've been under the careful mentorship of Birmingham's poet laureate, Ayan Adam. And under her mentorship, I kind of learned to craft my poem in a way that really, really gets the soul. So the first and probably the only one I want to do is titled The Somali Nomad. Just a quick show of hands, who's watched the documentary Surviving Black Hawk Down? Okay, for those that haven't, who's aware of the incidents in 1991 from Somalia in Mogadishu? Okay, so this poem is designed to kind of give Somalis the understanding of who they really are. I felt like as a creative, it was my duty to kind of show Somalis in a very poetic way who we are, and as an address back to America. So with that being said, this piece is titled The Somali Nomad. Being Somali can be interesting at times. See now, as nomads we're known to roam far and free sometimes, from blissful desert winds and sweet camel milk where you easily lose track of time. But it's our parents who fled the furthest due to all the wars and brutal crimes, trying to understand this foreign land in which there were no walls that act as a confine. But it's their sweet memories of home that still linger in its melodic rhymes. From battle scars and internal wounds, but their freedom sings in its unique desert chime. The nomadic route needs no structured map, nor does it need any fixed designs. Because the nomad's path isn't dictated by drawn-on lines. It's guided by the knowledge of his ancestors as he looks up at the stars in the sky. The knowledge he was raised with and knowing that he has his Lord by his side. Looking at the sun to judge its trajectory, to try and tell the time. The nomad treads a path of resilience and embodies his ancestors with each stride. So being Somali is far deeper than Maqayad talks about each other's tribes. It's about helping one another. It's about understanding the other's trials. Maski leh jirku qanima, lehdan jirku ku dila. The snake that bites you at 6 ends up killing you at 60. This very snake-like ideology sit in our cafes as they silently sip tea, spreading propaganda corrupting his brain before the poor kid even hit 16, explaining details about graphic wars before the kid had a chance to celebrate his 15th. He can refer back to the dates on record history before even embracing his 14th. So we need to change this rhetoric. I don't think I need to give you more reasons than 13, but for our country this might be the 13th reason why. So that's what we need to fight. We're the newer generation now, so it's for us to step up and act on what's right. We need to unlearn these bad habits and hold on to our proverbs so tight. Aqwan la'an wa iftin la'an. The absence of knowledge is the absence of light. We need to preserve the goodness of our culture and make sure that it's our youth that shine bright. We're Nimandalik that have brute force and an unwavering night. And our women have a level of unparalleled beauty like they're shining stars at night, guiding the lost souls to do what's right. All while in the meantime single-handedly raising the next generation of men to fight for what's right. So let's fight for what's right. Let's put our differences aside and rebuild our unity and hold on to our morals so tight. So I say this with every fiber of my being as this sets my heart alight. Somalia Hamunat. But before you applaud, it's the American mindset that's flawed, so let me talk about it. See, they may be the land of the free, living an American dream, but we're the poetic nomads that have resilience that he's never seen. This is not New York, Donald. We come from ancestors who walk through sandstorms with their eyes open, drinking chamomile in their tea, Donald. Climbing mountains in Beledweyne, bare feet, wearing the same ma'awis and shard war to defend my country, Donald. You don't know what it means to be Somali, Donald. So I say this as a bid to my people. To those that were born on war stories but were raised to win. To those that wear pain like it's a second skin. To those that were born on war stories but are raised to win. To those that sip tea silently but hold storms within. Remember, we come from warriors that pray before battle. From mothers who raised nations barehanded and no hassle. From a land where poetry was passed down like survival, where every forward step was its own form of revival. It's time we unlearn this poison. It's time to remember who we've always been. No clans, no borders, no scars on our skin, but one blood, one nation, one motherland where we begin. So let's build and not break. And let's plant seeds where they once dug graves. Thank you. So now as Somalis, we have two identities, right? Both Muslim and Somali. And now we've seen a Somali piece. I want to take time to do a Islamic poem. This is titled Happiness. It's a poem that I wrote not long ago. And it's a message for people that are Muslim to understand where their happiness derives. So that being said, this is titled Happiness. Happiness. It's that overwhelming feeling of joy and it's that overwhelming feeling of joy and positive emotions. It's a divine feeling that a person can feel if they show God his due devotion. Like focusing in and forgetting about everybody else and their commotion. Because their commotion will only ruin your steadiness like waves in motion. Show him your commitment and his ease for you will be in full motion. Happiness is only felt through him because that is our predestined notion. And that's the notion of faith. Sit back and watch everything else fall in its place. Like dominoes in a line ready to bow, like those that have faith. Or like those that wake up and pray at night because they know what's at stake. Ask yourself, how can we not be happy when we have a Lord in our life? He's the one who watches over us like newly made parents at night, watching as their kid is fast asleep, hoping that his future is bright. But they know that it's only God's hand, so they sit back and pray to him at night. Allah is all forgiving, and he told us it's all part of his might. It's his will to forgive a sin before it even came to light. It's his order for you to not do what's wrong, but for you to focus on what's right. So to him is all the way all our praise. He's the one who said be, and it most definitely became. He's the one who sent an angel to a Bedouin Arab that was just sat in a cave. He told him to read as he sat there to meditate. He was illiterate, but after one hug, he read for God's sake, خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ عَلَقٍ. The one who created mankind from a clinging club. See now, To scientists, this verse was very absurd. They knew deep down they had spoken the truth and that he had defined life with one word. Yet they failed to accept that Allah was the one who created this world. So their hearts were sealed, and in the next life they will learn that they fell for the temptations of the devil, but ask yourself, what did they earn? It's us as Muslims that want happiness, so it's us that need to learn that the only way for us to gain happiness is for us to turn to religion, and that's how we earn happiness. Thank you.
And everybody of you know, and I've described here yesterday, so that I can save you time for extra verses. It's better for me to call it straight away. I think it's Poet Ayan Adan. Please welcome with me. Barakallahu feekum.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, guys. Wow. Nation of Poets. We've seen so many amazing poets, and I was at the launch of the space, and it gives me great honor that I'm here today to see it being utilized in a way that feels very authentic to us Somalis. So my name is Ayan Adan. waxaan ku suganahay magaalada Birmingham. I think it's the best city in the world. saddexdana aragnay waa masaakan kasoo baxnay, laakiin shil iyo balaayo jira jidkana ka xamdla waan joognaa. Somali jajabna waa ku hadlaya si Soomaaliga aan fiicnaysiiyo. Okay, taa markaan dhaafo anigu waxaan ahay Birmingham's Poet Laureate. miyaad taqaantiin macnaha kelmaddaas? kelmaddaas dad badan baa iweydiiyo markaan stageka kasoo koro. What does laureate mean? maxaad ka shaqaysaa? Birmingham Poet Laureate is an appointed position to represent poetry for the city of Birmingham. I am the first Somali, the youngest, and the first Muslim, and that is good Somali, so it gives me great pleasure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go with that mic, inshallah, yeah? I started writing stories and poems at a young age, tender age of 8. Markaas aan weydiin jiray, where does poetry come from? Soomaalida waxay aaminsan yihiin qof hadduu abwaan yahay ama ciidood ama awoogood. Anigana ma garanayn. I just grew up at a very young age writing poetry. And the role of a poet is not to be liked. The role of the poet is not to be appeasing. The role of the poet is to reflect societal truths, to reclaim narrative. And that's what I do. I like to tell the Somali story in a very, very authentic way. So today, inshallah, I'm going to be sharing 2 pieces with you. The first one is called Woe to the Daughters of Somalia. And I think in our journey as Somalis, women are our backbone. Whether it's our mothers, our sisters, they are the ones pushing Bulshada forward. And oftentimes, I've come across so many people that love Somalia, that love Somalis. I want to help out in the mission of like, horumar keena, horusocod keena. But unfortunately, their lives were taken away from them. Hodan Ali, Saada Ali, Kama Duade, Amina, ha u wada naxariisto. And this is a heavy piece. Poetry, you do this, yara maqashiyabal. Do you guys know how to do this? Kelmada that darantiin inaad jeceshihiin, just click inshallah. If not, it's more than fine. But this is a heavy piece, so without further ado, bismillah. Woe to the daughters of Somalia, perilous existing and living. Tell me, to love something that so desperately wants to kill you, isn't that the most purest form of love? Oh, Saada Ali, ilah ku naxariisto. When they hunted your car down, did they know that their hunt was in pursuit of more than a body, more than just flesh? Did they know that they killed 1 million dreams that night, broke more than 1 million hearts, shattered the sky and let it rain across the globe? But we picked up the shell casings, buried it in our pockets, traced it every Friday khutbah, hoping that this thing that so easily took you could still keep us connected. Did they know that you carried the torch for a nation hurting but healing? Did they know that they torched a light whatever oasis of hope that we had within us, snuffed it out like a... Did they know that you would have forgiven them if you were still here? Did they know that you loved them, that you loved them, that you loved them? Did they know, Sada, that you loved them, that you loved them? Maybe they didn't know that you loved them. Did they know that you knew that they were just lost souls charged with misplaced hatred, and that you said, our sick need help too because they are ours, wa anaga, they are us. But they knew that you left behind a life of luxury to come back and rebuild. They knew that you knew that Somalia was better than this. They heard your words too. I saw them at your concerts, watched them watch you on stage, sway your hips and clung onto every word that came from your lips and nurtured them through the darkest of days with words reminding them of their praise. أود بنشرين حقيقو فضلنا عليه إلهكم أحرس. You inspired generations across nations, and your crime taught us of what Somalia used to be like, could be like, reminded us that empires fall and empires rise, and we were rising. Slowly but surely, because we were no longer dying, slowly but surely we were surviving. Amun, Abdullahi, Muhammad. إلهكم أحرس. 2 in the back of the head, assailants not found, left lying in a pool of her hopes and dreams in her found ground, and her crime to move back and invest, to detest toxic ideologies, seek new opportunities. Death ain't new to me, so I carry your names in my knuckles as eulogies, the same way that I carry you. Same way that I carry you, Kama Ta'ala. You were my friend. We bonded over our love of our country. 2 girls who grew up in the West, inspired and fired up by Sada Ali, Hodan Ali, and Arawela, and all the rest. But you actually did it. You got educated, and you moved back to help. Prove those who said you couldn't, and I mean, it doesn't help and I shouldn't, but I hated that they took you. Oh, I hated that they took you. I was on my way to Umrah when I found out. So I did 7 rounds in your name around Allah's house. And people say, woe to the daughters of Somalia, who give nothing but love and light to darkness and hurt, pay with their life and end up in a hearse. Why do you choose to still love something that so deeply wants to kill you? And I say, isn't that the most purest form of love? I do this as a full-time job, so I'm always at events, I'm always performing, but I rarely put personal stories into my pieces, and that is the first one that I feel like I have just a deeper emotional connection with. So I don't perform it, but I thought, you know what, I have to challenge myself, I have to be uncomfortable. So alhamdulillah, that's out of the way. I'm going to perform one last piece for you guys, and this piece is called Ushag. You're getting gas on the right. So piece kan waxaan ku abaabulay maalin aan hooyadii la hadlayay. A lot of us came here as refugees, and English was a barrier, right? A lot of us were doctors, engineers, so many different things, with so many degrees, but a lot of people use English as a metric of intelligence. And I remember one day my mom was on the phone to a receptionist and she was moving very rude, and I said, excuse me? Just because she can't articulate herself that well in English does not mean that it's any less of her as a person. So I created this piece to show the Ajnabis that refugees mean so much more than just broken English, and that they've gone through so much to get here. So without further ado, this piece is called Ushag. Bismillah. My English is broken, she would say. My English is broken, my daughter, under the belief that her inability to speak English so fluently was saddening. Until one day she really told me, she said, you think that their words of hatred can affect me, Ayane? Just because I don't speak the colonizer's language properly. Ayane, yes mother, Hoyu, Ushag, tell them. Tell them that I came from a place at a time where death was easy, where young people would greet the Grim Reaper before they got a chance to meet life's destiny. Tell them that my broken tongue, in fact, carries salams and battle scars from a land where people weather whatever storm under the belief that true relief can only come from Allah. Tell them that Dadkega treat our guests with the utmost of respect. Give them our best, even the clothes of our chest, half whatever little we have with you. But you best pray to your Lord that we don't have war with you, because Ayane, yes mother, Hoyu, Ushag, tell them that I've seen what war can do. And tell them sometimes I felt as though my people knew how to die better than they knew how to live. From a people who hate to take, for they fear the injustice it brings, so they love to give a place where youngers are taught to play with sticks as kids before. before they can really translate what them bullets is. And even though this isn't how it was meant to be, nobody envisions himself as a refugee. Somalia was more than enough for me, but you tell them that they will need to know what I've escaped from to understand that broken English is the least of my worries, the least of what gets to me. Because when I had to flee school streets and loved ones did not look like school streets or loved ones anymore, replaced with bombs, bullets and unmarked graves that mark the places that we used to love before, tell them in Ayan, that sometimes I felt that death was all I knew. From a people overshadowed by the angel of death wherever they go, and like a visitor, struggle would visit us, but we would never shy away. We would welcome him into our homes. So come in. And you tell them that my people, Ayane, my people know how to meet hostility well, and that our broken tongues, in fact, have long been numbed, rigid from the minute that they bombed our wells, tried to starve us out in the middle of droughts until the skin of our children's bone fell. So yes, my English may be broken, but oh, I am fluent in resilience so well. So who cares if I say shepherd bush instead of shepherd bush? How dare they try to test me when the angel of death is still yet to get to me? Yes, mother, Hoyu, tell them. Remember to wear your Somali nimo with pride. And when they ask you where you're from, you remind them that your skin is from a land that has been kissed by the sea and the sun, and that your nose and your features are from a people who stick it high in pride and don't run when the arrow pain hits and the angel of death hunts, and that your lungs breathe and sink to the heartbeat of a land where love and hatred interlink. Ayane, yes, mother, Hoyu, Ayane, yes, mother, Hoyu, Ayane, yes, mother, Hoyu, Tell them that they will need to understand what I've been through, to understand that broken English is the least of my worries, the least of what gets to me. Before they could ever dare try to understand me, my daughter, tell them, Shag. Thank you very much.
May I thank you again for your valuable time, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's not wasted time. I'm sure you've been ignited. I just want to welcome Chair Jawahir to close the session for us. And inshallah we'll be going tonight, inshallah. And I can see so many leaders coming up from this session.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. ما شاء الله ما شاء الله والله يا ما شاء الله speechless يعني سبحان الله وصح واي nation of poets marka wax weeyaan maanta dhan joogteen caawdana joogteen Axmed ma dhahayo laakiin waxaan rabaa just inaan idin mahad celiyo kulligiin maana idin sheega I'm so proud of all of you wallahi so proud, and I always said wallahi when I see our youth keena there's hope. Sometimes when I look my country and I feel sad how the situation is, and I look my young generation, I feel hope. And marar badan waxa way meelaha ku qodbeeyo oo dhalinyaro badan ay joogan wiil ayaan wuxuu u dhahay maxaa mar walba adinka dadkiina noo dhahdaan waxaad tihiin leaders tomorrow maxaa noo dhahdaan because mar rabtaan aan leaders noqono maxaa u dhihi weyna leaders ka maanta tihiin.
Yes.
And from that day I've never said future leaders wallahi. Yeah, because Warun, you are leaders of today, the present, and you are leaders of tomorrow and for always. Wadan kaanayta adinku idin sugaya, community-ga adinka idin sugaysa, dadkina bedel laha baatiin. Hadartaan waa u jeeda, I'm so proud, and ani baad waa saxkan hada. Marka waa mahadsantihiin, and masha Allah, and I can see ani social worker no ahay, counselor no ahay, and I can see the pain you're carrying on as well. Wallahi. Yani, another generation can, yes, the girl and all kind of stuff and everything was so marne and so qadne. And we had a generation can they carrying trauma. But tonight, wallahi, I feel our young generation how much burden and baggage you're carrying on as well. And that is not easy, I know. It's not been easy for you guys as well. And but this other time, national color is an opportunity to express. When you express that, it's a relief. It's a good way of expressing, as many of you have said, write your narrative, write your stories, tell your stories. And hopefully, many more events like this imaatan aan isku aragno inshallah. And then ciyaalkooda inshallah usii gudbisaan. And you are the hope for today and tomorrow inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan.